Happy Monday, everybody. It's Paulo Brandt with your interest rate insights, February 12th. Hope everybody had a good weekend, and that's just where we're going to end that conversation. And what do you say we just dive into this interest rate insight? So what we're going to talk about, is it a good time to buy, or is home buying in general a good investment? And we're going to go back and look all the way back to 1942 and see the performance of how the housing market is done for individuals who have held their home for 10 years, then sold it. We're going to talk about a market forecast as it relates to interest rates and housing markets that I'm hosting on Thursday, the 12th. You're invited to. And then we're going to talk about CPI that's coming out this week, what the market, which by the way, CPI is inflation, the measurement of inflation. We're going to see what the market is projecting, what to look for, and how we think that's going to impact interest rates. Because what you're going to notice is that interest rates are kind of stagnant, if not up just a little bit, after we had such a good run a few weeks back. So what do you say we dive right into this? And we always like to start by just reaching out and letting everybody know how grateful I am that of all the referrals that we received last week from our friends, family, our realtor partners, our business partners. It's not unnoticed, and it's very much appreciated. I always wanted to just say thank you and acknowledge you. Let's go ahead and bring up the interest rates here. Let me make sure I'm pressing the right button. There you go. As you can see that the VA is still the same rate at about a 6.25. FHA did creep up. Last week it was at 6.125. Now it's at 6.25. Conventional, same thing. It was about 6.625. Now we're looking at a 6.875. Keep in mind when you look at conventional interest rates, this is assuming you put 25% down, you have a good credit score. So if your credit score is less than perfect, or you're putting less money down, that's going to impact that interest rate. Jumbo pricing right there, 6.875 is the same. Keep in mind that's with all these rates here are with no points. And let me know if you have any questions on that. Also, bridge financing, that's been huge. 14 days, same as cash. Get approved for a bridge loan today, because you're just gonna, being able to put an offer as same as cash is just priceless. All right, let's keep on moving here. So this Thursday, I'm hosting a 2024 forecast. We're really going to break it down, which we're going to actually start today, on what is actually impacting interest rates, why we think interest rates are going down, what the real problem is with housing. And by the way, it's not interest rates, it's supply. There's not enough houses out there. I'm going to show you why that is actually happening. And it's not what you think. Let's put it that way. It's not what you think. It's actually really interesting. And I think you're going to leave there with a lot of perspective on that it may be a really good time to buy a house, because housing is forecasted to continue to appreciate. Let's talk about appreciation. So change in home value after 10 years. So this is a study that goes all the way back to 1942. And I want to thank MBS for these slides and this information. It's absolutely amazing. If you go back all the way to 1942, there has only been 1 year, and that's right here. Let me look at it. Right there in 2006, if you bought a house in 2006, held it for 10 years, and sold it, you would have lost 3%. But every other year since 1942, you're going to see a positive change in value. Now, is it a good investment? Yeah. Is it the best? Well, I don't really know what your goals are, but what I am suggesting is that a lot of people are worried about bubbles, the volatility of the housing market. But if you are going to live in a house 10 years, the odds are you are going to make money. Just take a look. It's right there. This week, a big week. I always say that. But tomorrow, Consumer Price Index is going to come out, and we're going to talk about that here in a second. Wednesday, mortgage apps. Thursday, initial jobless claims. I'm telling you, the market is very focused on the job market as it relates to inflation, as it relates to 30-year fixed rates. And then, of course, on Friday, we have Producer Price Index, which is really a measurement of business inflation, whereas CPI is Consumer Price Index or inflation. Let's go ahead and let's dive in a little bit on what we're looking for tomorrow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this slide a little bit bigger, probably get my head out of here. And what you're looking at here, so January CPI forecast, you're really looking at a headline and a core. And remember, the Feds are really focused on getting to this 2% mark of inflation. So right now, currently, it's at 3.35 with headline. The core is 3.9. Now, remember, Let me bring you back on the screen for a second. Now, remember what happens is how inflation is measured is they go back 12 months and they average it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back 12 months, which in this case is going to be January. We're going to subtract January's number. Then we're going to add what we're projecting for this January to come up with where we think inflation is going to fall. So let's go ahead and bring it back here. So if we subtract last January, it's going to be 0.52 or 0.41 respectively. So 11-month average for headline. Headline is going to be 2.83 and core is going to be 3.49. Now, here's the market forecast. So the add-on. So you can see how inflation is definitely making its way down. The add-on for January 2024 is going to be 0.13, 0.32 respectively. That's going to give us about a 2.96, a 3.81. So we are clearly heading in the right direction as it relates to inflation. So this should really help us with 30-year fixed rates and start seeing interest rates continue their fall, because the market is very focused on this and the job market. Hope that helped. Was that insightful? Did I explain that clearly for you guys? I hope so. Let me bring that back up. And here, what do we have lastly here? Lastly, if you are someone out there that is looking to buy, looking to sell, but you want to speak with a lender, but you don't want to take an application, you don't want to pull a credit report, you just want some great advice. Well, here it is. I've been doing this for about 15 years. My wife is doing this for about 15 years. Why don't you go ahead and click that link? I'd be happy to sit with you for 20, 30 minutes, put a plan in place together for you. We're not going to pull your credit, collect your documents, or do anything like that. Use us as a resource. I'm here to help you and your family succeed. And if you want to get pre-approved, gosh, we would love to help you. All right, my friends, that is it. I hope everyone has a great week. I hope to see you on Thursday at my 2024 forecast. And with you guys, I am out of here. Have